After confirming that the outer city would be given to the demons to trade, the estrangement between the inner and outer cities appeared again. Although the city wall had been torn down, most of the demons had moved to the outer city. The status of the two races had reversed. As a result, many demons naturally hated Hujuju. However, they were still in Ping City and were controlled by Hujuju's powerful strength. Even if they were dissatisfied, most of them could only endure it. Some of them could not take it anymore and simply left for the wastelands. In front of Li Yuanqing, the man-eating vine slowly condensed. "Master, how is it? How many have left?" "Master, dozens more left today. These demons have been migrating out greatly recently. Ever since the inner city was confirmed to be for human cultivators, these demons could not sit still anymore. In the past, these demons could tolerate it a little, but after such rules, they really could not tolerate it anymore." Li Yuanqing did not mind that these guys had left. Demon race in the inner city was a huge hidden danger to the human cultivators in the inner city. They might collude with their own kind outside and cause trouble. Now that they were willing to take the initiative to move out, it was something that everyone could accept. However, after they left, the population of Ping City decreased slightly. Fortunately, there was still a steady stream of humans moving in from outside. In the wasteland, many humans who had heard about Ping City had rushed over. The man-eating vine's transformation was becoming more and more complete. After cultivating in seclusion in the underground space for half a month, the aura of the man-eating vine had become much stronger. "Let them be. Master, they seem to have gone to find some independent demons outside. I'm afraid it will be troublesome." There were many independent demons in the wasteland. Not all the demons were gathered together like these three cities. Many of them even occupied territories to be the king. Most of these demons were powerful enough to dominate an area. Now that they had accepted so much fresh blood from Ping City, their strength had also increased greatly. There was such a mountain hundreds of miles south of Ping City. This mountain was pitch black and was surrounded by smoke all year round. The thick, demonic aura was so heavy that it could not be dispersed. After the two rough figures walked around outside a few times, they carefully leaned towards the mountain. "Greetings, Lion King." The two of them had straight noses and sharp eyes. Their bodies were covered in black feathers. The two brothers crawled on the ground, not daring to raise their heads. The fog on the originally quiet mountain top suddenly began to slowly rotate. The fog on it seemed to be guided by some force as it slowly circled the mountain. The two brothers trembled when they felt this huge amount of energy gather. They did not know if their arrival was a blessing or a curse. The one entrenched on Yellowstone Ridge was the famous Lion King, Xie Yuan. There were many legends about the Lion King. This person was ruthless and temperamental. When he was righteous, he would call his subordinates his brothers. If his temper flared up, he would often attack his own people. If not for the fact that they were forced by life, the two brothers of the Eagle clan would not have come here to seek an audience. After the thick fog above rolled for a while, a sudden roar that swept through the sky pressed down on the two brothers, causing their clothes to tear. While they were still enduring this pressure with difficulty, a burly figure was already standing in front of them. "Aren't you from Ping City? Why are you here in my small place? Didn't you look down on my desolate place?" As Xie Yuan appeared, a group of lackeys surrounded the two brothers. "Hee, Your Majesty, the skin and flesh of these two people are new. He said that they taste extremely good after they are steamed. The meat of this Eagle clan is tight, and it won't be bad when eaten." "What do you know? I've learned culinary skills from humans. For meat like theirs, we naturally have to fry it with oil and sprinkle it with spices. That's called superb." Xie Yuan ignored his subordinates' arrogant words and only looked at the two of them quietly. The two brothers raised their heads and trembled as they looked at the clamoring little demons beside them. Although these little demons were not strong enough, they had the numbers. In addition, their king was here. As long as Xie Yuan gave the order, the two of them would probably be fish on the chopping block. "Greetings, Your Majesty. Why didn't the two of you enjoy your days in Ping City? Why did you come to my territory?" Xie Yuan saw that the two of them were quite polite and did not attack rashly. He looked at the two of them with interest. "If the two of you can't say anything that interests me, I can only leave you to them to enjoy." Hearing the Lion King's words, The two brothers hurriedly prostrated on the ground and begged for mercy. "Your Majesty, please spare our lives. We brothers risked our lives to rush here, and specially came to seek refuge with you." "Oh, but there are many people who have come to seek refuge. If you can come just like that, my small mountain won't be able to accommodate you." "Your Majesty, please calm down. We came with news." "What news?" "Your Majesty, have you heard of the new city lord? Your Pink City has to change city lord every year." "What has it got to do with me?" "This matter has a huge impact. I believe your Majesty has heard some about it." The Lion King nodded and looked at the two of them. "That's right. I did hear some news. Hujuzhou is quite capable of providing Ping City to the human race." "That's right. Although Hujuzhou is a demon, she is completely on the human side and doesn't care about us at all." "So what? In any case, what does Ping City's good or bad have to do with me?" Xie Yuan was not interested in this matter at all. Although he had heard some things about that place, he did not want to interfere. After all, there was also the famous Sword Immortal. Although he had never seen that person with his own eyes, he had heard that the human was very powerful. Even the Black Dragon envoy was killed by his sword. How could a mere him resist that Sword Immortal? "Your Majesty, Ping City has a vast land and abundant resources. There are countless spirit stones. As long as your Majesty takes Ping City, it won't be long before you break through to the formation arrangement realm." Xie Yuan slowly raised his hand, and the person who spoke flew into the air. "Stop fooling me. That Sword Immortal is so powerful that even the Black Dragon envoy is useless. Are you asking me to die?" "Spare me, your Majesty." "Spare you? I don't think your motive for coming here is simple." "Your Majesty, kill him." A group of little demons shouted below. "Let's eat meat." "Kill them, kill them." The brothers of the Eagle clan hurriedly shouted when they saw that a calamity was imminent. "Your Majesty, although that Sword Immortal is real, he's not helping Hujuzhou." Xie Yuan snorted coldly and glared at him. "Do you think I'm a fool? That Sword Immortal clearly supported Hujuzhou to sit in the position of the city lord. Your Majesty, think about it. Although the Sword Immortal is powerful, he doesn't want to show himself. He just needs someone to help him manage the city. He doesn't care who became the city lord." "How is that possible?" Xie Yuan did not relax his grip. This person was already out of breath. "Your Majesty, please spare my life. Everything I said is true." After Xie Yuan strangled for a while, he suddenly put the two of them down and looked at them in silence. He thought about what this person had said and felt that it might make sense. This was one of the few people who had come here from inside. Since these two had already lived in Ping City for a period of time, they should have some experience. Then, what they said should have some reference value. "Big brother, are you all right?" "Big brother." The two brothers hugged each other, their big mouths panting. As he panted, he did not forget to say to the Lion King, "Your Majesty, believe me, the Sword Immortal will definitely not be angry at the entire demon race for Hujuzhou." "That's right, Your Majesty. The Sword Immortal can't afford to offend the demons at all." Back then, he was lucky to be able to kill the Black Dragon envoy. The second brother crawled in front of the Lion King and shouted, "There's something else going on. Your Majesty, listen to me." Xie Yuan slowly lowered his head and looked at him.
"I'm listening."
"If you don't say something, I'll kill all of you." Back then, the Black Dragon envoy had set up a lightning formation on Black Dragon Mountain. It could be said to be powerful and boundless. He was determined to kill the Sword Immortal there in one strike. The second brother spoke pretentiously. The original plan was to kill him in one strike. The Sword Immortal would definitely not live past that day. Then what? Why did it fail? "It's all Shark's fault." The second brother's eyes were red, as if he had a blood feud in his heart. Back then, Shark was drunk and made a mistake, revealing a crack in the lightning-attracting formation. Otherwise, that Sword Immortal would definitely die on the spot and not be able to escape. Xie Yuan weighed his words and looked at him silently for a while before asking, "But so what? No matter what, he has escaped. Now, the entire Ping City is under his control. Just now, I also said that the Sword Immortal was only lucky to escape. Actually, he was also seriously injured. He hasn't appeared for the past month. Moreover, he deliberately chased the demons out. It's obvious that he's weak and can't control them. When the second brother said this, Li Yuanqing's heart inexplicably began to stir. If what he said was true, and the sword immortal was seriously injured, it would be an excellent opportunity. If he could really take advantage of this opportunity to take Ping City for himself, it would be a great opportunity. However, the sword immortal was so powerful. The Li Yuanqing hesitated and looked at the two brothers. Bring them back? Your Majesty, aren't you going to eat the two of them? Why are you bringing them back? Cut the crap. We'll talk when we get back. Ping City. The number of demons suddenly increased. In particular, the number of demons in the inner city had increased a lot compared to before. In the City Lord Manor. City Lord, Yiqilua is waiting outside. Let her in. Yiqilua was tall and wore tight clothes. Her walking posture was decisive and capable, giving off a decisive aura. She walked in step by step and stopped 5 meters in front of Hujuju. City Lord. Yiqilua bowed slightly to Hujuju. Boss Yi, the treasure pavilion has been so busy recently. Why are you still in the mood to visit me? City Lord, you must be joking. The treasure pavilion's current business scale is all thanks to your guidance. It's all because Pavilion Master Yi is so smart that you can make it so big. Yiqilua put away her smile and looked up at Hujuju. City Lord, my subordinates have gathered a lot of news recently. They said that many demon kings from the wastelands have infiltrated the city. I heard a little news too. Recently, the number of demons flowing in the inner city has increased several times compared to before. Many of them are unfamiliar faces. I think they were all sent in by the people outside. I'm afraid they're a threat to the City Lord's life. Yiqilua took out a token. This token has my mark. As long as the City Lord needs help, you can call my guards at any time. Hujuju took a look and took the token. Thank you, Pavilion Master Yi. The City Lord has done so much for the human race. This is what we should do. Then I also wish Pavilion Master Ye's business to become more and more prosperous in the future. After Yiqilua left, Hujuju slowly walked to the balcony outside. 2 cold bodies lay on the ground. The bodies were cold now, their faces pale. Li Yuanqing sat at the side and drank his tea. The man-eating vine stood beside Li Yuanqing and looked greedily at the 2 corpses. Master, Yiqilua came just now. There are indeed many more dangers in the inner city now. You have to be careful. Li Yuanqing looked down at the city tower indifferently. Hujuju nodded gently. When Li Yuanqing came over just now, he casually discovered 2 people lurking outside. They were already planning to attack when Li Yuanqing discovered them in time. These 2 people were also unlucky. They had hidden themselves well enough, but when they encountered Li Yuanqing, they were killed on the spot. Master, what do you think we should do with them? Are we going to kill these people? Of course, Hujuju was not talking about the 2 people lying on the ground. Instead, she was talking about the people who were constantly surging in from all directions. Li Yuanqing took a sip of tea. It's fine. Let them be. If they're bold enough, they can come and die. If they don't want to cause trouble and just want to stay here, you can ignore them. Li Yuanqing was not too worried about these people. Their strength was limited. Although they had some treasures on them, they did not have many. However, these were all windfalls. Li Yuanqing would not reject them. He could obtain many things by killing these demons. In a restaurant in the inner city, a human young master's face was red as he leaned against the wall. In his arms were 2 enchanting women. He kissed one cheek and stroked the other's back. He kept saying dirty things. Young Master Zhao, you're so bad. How am I bad? The man smiled evilly at the woman. I think the 2 of you are the bad ones. You were so shy just now, but now you're relaxed. Young Master Zhao, what nonsense are you talking about? We didn't. The 2 of us drank too much and are going back to bed. Sleep? Where are you going to sleep? The 2 of you can forget about going anywhere today. As the man spoke, he grabbed the wrists of the 2 women. However, at this moment, the door of the cubicle suddenly opened and a graceful figure floated past the door. It was clearly a beautiful face. The man looked in the direction of the door and was stunned. Was it a side profile or a front profile? However, his subconscious kept reminding him that he saw an incomparably beautiful face. This power of suggestion kept repeating itself and changing his understanding. In the end, he simply imprinted that incomparably beautiful appearance in his mind. The graceful scene of the two of them dancing appeared in front of the man's eyes. The man slowly let go of the two ordinary women accompanying him and walked out of the door in a daze, as if he had lost his soul. Young Master Zhao, where are you going? Young Master Zhao, don't leave. However, no matter how hard they shouted, they could not stop young Master Zhao. The man walked out the door and walked along the corridor. Finally, he reached the end and turned into a wing. There was a rich peony fragrance in the incense shop. The fragrance was so intoxicating and refreshing. The man looked around as if everything in this space was flickering with a peach color. This light spread and dispersed. The peach color slowly covered the man's eyes. An extremely huge peony petal slowly wrapped around the man and floated to the bed. This person was already enchanted by the petals, but in his imagination, he was dancing with the beautiful person in his imagination. The next morning, ouch! The two drunkards had just come out of the restaurant when the cool breeze outside couldn't help but shiver. The two of them had just turned into the alley and taken off their pants. They wanted to relieve themselves, but someone beside them suddenly tripped over something. What the hell? Who threw things around every day? I fell because of this. The person who fell down had a red face and was complaining with vulgarities. I think you just refused to admit that you drank too much. I'm telling you that I won't look for you for this kind of thing next time. Not only are you talking nonsense after drinking too much, but you can't even stand properly. Don't fall to your death. Your wife even wants to find trouble with me. Nonsense. The person who fell waved his hands indignantly and fell to the ground again. However, this time, he felt like his hand had touched something. He picked it up and held it close to his eyes, studying it carefully. This long white rod-shaped thing looked familiar, but his mind was muddled and he could not remember what it was. What's so hard? My hand hurts. He held the leg bone and muttered, "Ah." The person who was peeing turned around. When he saw the thing in his friend's hand and the skeleton on the ground, he was so frightened that he almost sat down. However, he still maintained his peeing posture and splashed hot yellow pee on the face of the person who had fallen to the ground. What are you doing? You bastard. You peed on my face. This person's mind was much clearer after being splashed with urine. He looked at the thing in his hand. It was a human bone. There was a body lying on the ground. The bones were scattered on the ground, and a human figure could be vaguely seen. There was some pink minced meat on the bones. Large pieces of meat had been eaten up, leaving only a little residue. The two of them did not even have time to pull up their pants. They shouted in surprise and fled the alley. After an hour, Mingluan and his men sealed the place off. Mingluan's expression was solemn as he looked at the miserable fellow on the ground. "Captain, this is the 10th case this month. Everyone dies the same way." Even their subordinates were terrified when they saw this scene. They were afraid that they would encounter such a thing one day. The strength of these people who died was not low. All of them were at least at the 2nd or 3rd stage of the spirit transformation realm. Even such a powerful expert had died so miserably. Small soldiers like them were just food between their teeth. Mingluan's expression was solemn. He had been worried sick about this case recently. Although he had already sent his subordinates to keep an eye on all those unfamiliar faces, it was still useless. Originally, he did not intend to trouble the city lord with this case. In addition, the city lord had been busy with these matters for the past few days, so Mingluan had not reported it. However, from the looks of it, he had no choice but to report it. The city lord had a powerful surveillance system. He believed that she would be able to discover the murderer. "I understand. Strengthen the area with the guards you brought. City lord, this person is a disaster. If we can't stop this in time, I'm afraid it will affect everyone in the city. Many people have already begun to consider leaving." "I understand. Go and calm everyone down. Leave this to me." Hujuju did not come out of the room. After giving his report, Mingluan left carefully. Hujuju was pacing back and forth in the room. "Can't find it. How can this be?" The man-eating vine said helplessly, "I went to look for it, but this fellow shouldn't be an ordinary demon. His aura is very well hidden, and it spread throughout the entire city. It's not that easy to control him. Don't you have any idea what kind of demon it is? Although the man-eating vine could already control the entire Ping City, it had encountered a tricky problem this time. I'm not especially sure now. I might have to wait for Master to come out and make a decision. Every time I want to control him, he can easily escape. I don't think this method will work. Did you sense the general form? The man-eating vine sat cross-legged on the ground and closed her eyes with a solemn expression. I'll try again. An inexplicable energy slowly spread out with the City Lord Manor as the center. The place where the energy spread only left behind some fluctuations, so no one could sense any abnormalities. However, in an ordinary courtyard, a beautiful human cultivator suddenly opened her eyes. Female human cultivators with such looks were rare. In terms of cultivation, men had a huge advantage. However, this woman actually had such deep strength. It was really impressive. The woman revealed a strange smile and looked in the direction of the City Lord Manor. Her lips curled into a disdainful smile. After trying again, the man-eating vine stopped, panting. How is it? Can't you find it? Something's wrong. If he's a demon, I'll definitely be able to find his aura. However, every time his aura flashed past, I won't be able to find him anymore. It seems to be hiding somewhere that I can't track. The man-eating vine was very puzzled. Logically speaking, there shouldn't be such a blind spot in Ping City that could hide from her. If there were demons who could do such a thing, they would have to be strong enough or have other methods. Hujujo saw that the man-eating vine could not find any clues for the time being. It was probably not feasible to rely on the two of them to resolve this matter. Then did you find any characteristics? If only some characteristics are needed, we'll spread the news. According to the aura he left behind, this is a flower demon. It's powerful and has even stronger concealment methods. What? So the murderer is actually the flower demon? I knew it. Such cruel and unreasonable methods must belong to the demons. Brother, you can't say such things. What did the demons do to you? What do you mean, what's wrong with me? Haven't you demons done this many times in the past? What's wrong now? You have a bad temper and still have the guts to shout like this? The anger between the demons and humans was about to be ignited. In addition, the increase in the number of demons in Ping City made their momentum even stronger. Everyone, be more amiable. What's the point of saying this now? Since it's a flower demon, and he didn't say that his target was only humans, I think there are many demons who died. That's right. This fellow is ruthless. No matter who it is, we should unite and save it as soon as possible. Otherwise, more people will die. There were still people who understood and temporarily resolved the conflict between the two groups. This flower demon was not particular at all. No matter which race it was, as long as they encountered her, there would be unlucky people. Then arrest the flower demon. I don't believe that a small flower demon would dare to commit crimes in Ping City. There were several different images posted on the notice. They were all drawn according to the people associated with the previous victims. According to the man-eating vine, the murderer should be the same flower demon, but the images drawn on them were very different. It was also because this was the flower demon that they could not arrest it. For a time, everyone in Ping City was in danger. Everyone was afraid that such an unlucky thing would happen to them. This guy was very strong. If it was true, they could only blame themselves for being unlucky. It was unknown if it was a provocation or because she was fearless. Ever since Hujuju released the news, the number of people killed had increased. Moreover, every time this guy revealed her aura, it was very short. Every time she planned to attack, she would disappear. This concealment method could be said to be extremely profound. In just a few days, more than 10 people had died tragically on the streets. Can the city lord still do it? If she can't arrest such a murderer, I think we should change her as soon as possible. Many demons gathered on the streets and shouted. Although the humans were objecting, they were not confident at all. This was because many humans had also died. They could not protect Hujuju and instead ignored the murderer. Change the city lord. I want to change to a truly capable city lord, not a piece of trash like now. The demons surrounded the city lord manor and shouted loudly, looking like they were forcing her to abdicate. Mingluan led the team and guarded outside. There were also many spontaneously organized city guards guarding here. Everyone, I was ordered to capture this criminal. It's all my fault now that I've let her get away with it. I'm not strong enough, so you can vent your anger on me. Mingluan took off his armor and stood in front of the demons. You're nothing. The demons spat at him. Let that bastard city lord come out. She only knows how to hide at the back all day long. I think she clearly doesn't have any ability at all. It's time for someone else to be the city lord. That's right. There are so many capable people in Ping City, but we had to let the most incompetent person be the city lord. If we let a little thief get away with it, where will the reputation of Ping City be? Mingluan, cut the crap. Hurry up and hand over the city lord. If you still can't give an explanation today, everyone will tear down the city lord manor. As they spoke, they pressed forward again. It was obvious that they planned to stake everything today. Naturally, there were many foreign demons who were taking advantage of the situation. How could they give up such a good opportunity? The demons relied on their increased current strength to howl. The humans gathered at the side in silence. They naturally would not watch as the demons tore down the city lord manor. However, they would not let Hu Jujiu hide in the city lord manor and not investigate the murderer. They did not know if this so-called peony flower demon was a smoke bomb thrown by Hu Jujiu, or if such a thing did not exist at all. Now, many people guessed that Hu Jujiu had absorbed the essence of these people to cultivate after controlling the city. Many people swayed and believed this saying. The Fox clan had a history of absorbing people's essence to cultivate. Everyone, I believe that the city lord will definitely not do such a thing. Today, all of you will accompany me to guard the city lord manor. Tonight, we will capture that peony flower demon. No mistakes are allowed. Although the leader of the humans was very imposing, everyone below was listless. Clearly, they were not determined to do this. Come on, humans are born to be suspicious of each other and scheme against each other. How can we gather together and fight together? These humans are really interesting. The humans and demons were in a deadlock outside the city lord manor. No one could take a step forward. Hu Jujiu had the protection of the guards and many humans. Those demons could not threaten her life. However, it was a huge problem for the security of Ping City if there was always such a flower demon outside. However, that thing was escaping at an astonishing speed. It would be difficult for them to capture it in a short period of time. This became a problem. City Lord, although they've left now, I'm afraid their patience won't last long. Many of them are interfering. I think we should send more people to find this flower demon. After forcing the demons outside back, Mingluan looked much more tired. As a demon, he was now sandwiched between the demons and the city lord. It was not good for him to be on either side. It would be fine if the days were peaceful. They would still be able to gain something. However, if things were to become chaotic now, the security of the entire city would become worse, and the lives of his subordinates would be threatened. Many of his subordinates were considering whether they should resign. Like the others, they wanted to leave this place while they still had the time. It had to be said that the security in Ping City was really too bad now. This was why many people wanted to retreat. Although Mingluan was very tired, he was helpless. His brothers could retreat now, and perhaps find a good place outside the wastelands to seek refuge, but he could not. We'll discuss the flower demon at length. You've all worked hard during this period of time. Let your brothers go back and rest well. In any case, she only comes out at night. Let your brothers cheer up at night. However, City Lord, this is the critical moment of officially capturing the flower demon. If everyone finds out that we still have time to rest, will we? Mingluan was very worried. However, Hu Jujiu seemed to not care at all. She patted his shoulder gently to comfort him. It's fine. There will be some progress with the flower demon sooner or later. If you work too hard, even if you really encounter the flower demon, it won't be worth it if you don't have the strength to attack. Mingluan was more or less touched by Hu Jujiu's words. The fellow demons outside could not wait for him to die. They could not wait for him to be swallowed by the flower demon. Instead, it was the city lord who was concerned about him and could give him some comfort. Mingluan thought to himself that he had not chosen the wrong path back then. That was why he had such a status now. Thank you for your concern, City Lord. Our brothers have indeed been busy these past few days and don't have much time to rest. We will definitely take down the flower demon tonight. You can leave. I'll leave the job of maintaining the peace in Ping City to you. You can't tire yourself out as the captain. Thank you for your concern, City Lord. I'll take my leave then. After Mingluan left, Hujuju did not stay any longer. She flipped over the city wall and arrived at Li Yuanqing's small courtyard not long after. Master! Hujuju and the man-eating vine stood beside Li Yuanqing. Even the protective array below can't accurately sense her location, Li Yuanqing said after some thought. The man-eating vine replied, I can only sense some of her aura sometimes, but her aura only exists for a while before disappearing. I guess she might have used some concealment method or hid somewhere. This peony flower demon indeed had some methods. Even the protective array that was so sensitive could not accurately sense her location. If they could accurately locate her, they would have captured her long ago. However, it was troublesome now. Little man, go there tonight. According to her actions, she will definitely take action again tonight. Yes, master. The man-eating vine agreed. If we encounter it on the ground, we will definitely be able to capture it immediately. She will definitely not be able to escape this time. In the past, the reason why she was allowed to escape every time was mainly because the man-eating vine was underground. Although she had sensed a trace of aura, it had already disappeared before she could rush over. He got the man-eating vine to set up on the ground and prepare in the area where the peony flower demon was often active. At that time, Li Yuanqing would take action and resolve this problem. At night, the streets were lively regardless of day or night. There was a lot of joy and sadness here, but the sadness was forgotten, leaving only joy. A tall young master in white was wandering the streets aimlessly. He had just had a wonderful day and was coming out to find some joy. Although there was some trouble in the city during the day, those things had nothing to do with him. He guarded his small courtyard alone with the spirit stones he had earned. After half a month of hard work, he had finally reached the next level. He, who was already at the 4th grade spirit transformation realm, was now in high spirits. He raised his head and puffed out his chest as he walked on the streets, looking imposing. He muttered in his heart as he walked. Now that he was already at the 4th grade spirit transformation realm, it would not be easy for him to advance anymore. He felt that it was time to find a dual cultivation partner. This way, he might be able to find a new opportunity. As he thought about it, he walked around. There were people coming and going on the streets. There were humans and demons. What kind of dual cultivation partner was suitable? He could not find an answer now, nor was he sure. He wanted to walk around and see for himself. Perhaps he would encounter fate. No one could be sure about such things. Just as he was strolling around, a graceful figure suddenly barged into his vision. This person, such a graceful person, had boldly barged into his world, making him unable to extricate himself. The man's eyes were fixed in the direction of the alley. A peerless beauty had clearly walked over there. Who was that person? Why was she there? Why did she walk into that dark alley alone? The man swallowed his saliva and involuntarily walked towards the entrance of the alley, as if his soul had already belonged to someone else. His footsteps were weak, his expression was blank, and he just walked. He only knew to walk forward, as if all he knew and his goal in life was to walk into the alley. The man walked into the alley and looked into the darkness. He saw an enchanting figure. This beautiful person was standing in the alley like a holy maiden. Her eyes were shining with a charming light. Her weak body was like an enchanting vine. Come on. Such a voice echoed in the man's ears. His body involuntarily leaned towards the woman, taking one step at a time. The woman stretched out her hands and opened her arms to welcome the man. The man walked straight into the woman's arms without looking back. His arms were curved around her. However, what the man did not see was that behind his neck, those graceful hands had already turned into 2 thorny vines that were firmly wrapped around his neck. Stop! A delicate roar interrupted the woman's actions. The woman suddenly looked up in the direction of the alley. At some point, a petite girl had appeared. The girl looked at her angrily with a fierce expression. Oh, what's wrong? Sister, did you like this guy? If that's the case, it's not impossible for me to give him to you, right? The woman smiled and walked towards the man-eating vine seductively. Her waist swayed with every step she took. looking as gentle as water. The man was already bewitched. He leaned against the wall in a daze and did not move. His eyes were still filled with stars, and he looked like he was infatuated. He had yet to wake up. The peony flower demon was not in a hurry. She saw that her good deed had been disturbed by the man-eating vine, but she did not look angry at all. She only walked towards the man-eating vine very kindly. The man-eating vine did not say anything. She only stared at the peony flower demon warily. This flower demon's cultivation was stronger than her. The peony flower demon walked gracefully to the man-eating vine and sized it up. She called out, "Little sister, I see that you're very talented. Why don't you follow me? I'll protect you in the future. As long as I can absorb your vitality, you'll definitely have a share." The man-eating vine licked her lips and looked greedily at the peony flower demon. "I still prefer to find my own prey. That way, no one will fight me for it. In that case, it's fine if you want this person. Since you like him so much, I'll give him to you." As the peony flower demon spoke, she really moved aside and stood at the side, looking at the man-eating vine with a smile. "Sister, go boldly. This person's body is filled with vitality. If you can absorb this person, I guarantee that you can break through another realm." The peony flower demon was very enthusiastic, as if she was really willing to give this person to the man-eating vine. However, the man-eating vine did not move. She just looked at her quietly. "What's wrong, little girl? Don't you trust me?" The flower demon covered her mouth and chuckled. "I see that you're very scheming at such a young age. I gave it to you wholeheartedly, but you didn't believe me. I'm so disappointed." The man-eating vine looked at her disdainfully and smiled. "Good sister, I'm not interested in this thing you like. The thing I'm really interested in is in front of me. I won't go anywhere else." As soon as the man-eating vine said this, the peony flower demon's face immediately darkened. Initially, both sides were still smiling and polite, but in the blink of an eye, the atmosphere in the alley turned completely cold. It was as if the air here had truly turned cold after the emotional change between the two of them. It was as if the air had fallen by more than 10 degrees. The surrounding dew slowly froze into ice. The limbs of the man behind froze, but he could not move at all. He still looked at the peony flower demon with dizzy eyes. "Sister, you're young, yet your tone is so arrogant. You actually said such things to me. Do you know how I've lived for so many years?" "Peony flower demon, I don't care how you've lived for so many years. I'm under orders to capture you and bring you to justice. No matter what, you have to return with me today. If you dare to disobey, I can only take your life on behalf of Master." The man-eating vine spoke methodically. "Master?" The peony flower demon looked at her disdainfully. "It's you scum of the demon race that caused us demons to fall into such a situation. You're willing to sell your souls and worship the human race for a little benefit. That's still better than a demon like you. That depends on whether you have the ability." As the peony flower demon spoke, she suddenly disappeared like air. Her clothes fell to the ground. Seeing that there was nothing in front of it, the man-eating vine suddenly roared and retreated. The moment the man-eating vine retreated, a thick vine extended out from the empty space under her feet. The vine suddenly stabbed forward. If the man-eating vine had been standing on the spot just now, it would have been split into two. The man-eating vine was not in a hurry. It was enough to stall for a while. The peony flower demon looked at the man-eating vine in confusion. This little fellow had spoken fiercely just now, but now that she had attacked, she did not retaliate at all. Instead, she sealed the path beside her, as if she was really afraid that she would escape. The difference in strength between the two sides was clearly so great, but this little girl was not afraid at all and still wanted to pester her. She was wasting her spiritual power like this just to seal her escape route. If she delayed any longer, she would die. The peony flower demon was puzzled. She did not know why the man-eating vine was courting death. "Do you have a death wish?" "I'm alive and well. Why do I have a death wish?" "I don't care what tricks you play, but since you've touched me, your tricks are useless." The peony flower demon's body suddenly expanded like a balloon and instantly turned into a green flower bud. The green flower bud was wrapped in leaves. After expanding to its maximum size, the flower suddenly exploded and endless leaves shot in all directions. The power of the explosion was extremely huge, and it immediately attracted many people's attention. They gathered on the high wall in the distance and looked over. What is this? Isn't this the peony flower demon? That's right. Such strength and such a powerful aura. This feeling is definitely that peony flower demon. Who's the person standing opposite the peony flower demon? I've never seen her before. It looks like another demon, but how can these two demons fight each other? Who knows? Brothers, attack. We can't let her escape this time. Just as many human cultivators were rushing towards the alley, the peony flower suddenly felt the space around it tremble. This space was like a ripple. It suddenly changed after the fluctuation. The originally dark night sky was replaced by a clear day. The dark and gloomy alley had also become an open garden. Her feet were covered in snow, and behind her was a tall snow mountain. The peony flower demon looked around in horror. She retracted the leaves she had released and fled in all directions, wanting to escape. However, after reaching Li Yuanqing's domain, she could no longer run around. Don't waste your energy. This place is your graveyard. An incomparably dignified voice sounded from the sky, like the supreme ruler of this world. The peony flower demon looked around in horror, but she could not see where that person was, nor did she know who she was or why she was here. However, everything seemed to have ended. What do you want? There's no grudge between us. If you want anything, I'll give it to you. I have countless treasures here. I can exchange them with you. Please spare me. The peony flower demon kept looking around, begging for forgiveness. However, there was no reason for Li Yuanqing to release her after bringing her here. Li Yuanqing slowly appeared in front of her. Human? The peony flower demon's eyes revealed a trace of disbelief, as if it was difficult to believe that a human could be so powerful. This endless power made her feel very weak. In front of this person, she could not even resist. She could only feel the endless power tearing her apart in the void. You've mutilated so many people. Dying here is the best place for you. Li Yuanqing's words were emotionless, like the final outcome of a judgment. The peony flower demon sat on the spot in a daze. She no longer had the strength to resist Li Yuanqing's punishment. The man-eating vine came around from behind, licked her lips, and carefully climbed onto the flower demon's back. The man-eating vine wrapped her hands around the flower demon's neck. Slowly, her hands turned into two thick green vines. Slowly, the two vines extended endlessly and wrapped around each other. Finally, they wrapped the peony flower demon into a ball that looked like a cocoon. Not long after, the huge cocoon room was slowly stripped away. A graceful young girl, the man-eating vine, walked out. Her mental state was refreshed. After devouring the peony flower demon, her strength had indeed increased by another level. Master! The man-eating vine half-knelt in front of Li Yuanqing, unable to hide the joy on her face. Li Yuanqing did not look at her. He was only attracted by a smald on the ground. He casually waved his hand, and the inconspicuous item landed in his hand. Where did this person go? Who knows? I clearly saw that peony flower demon here just now. There were many people gathered in the alley. All of them watched in confusion. Many of them had seen the peony flower demon fighting here with another demon with their own eyes. However, they were gone after they arrived. Mingluan led the team to search carefully and indeed found a bewitched person here. However, they could not find anything about the peony flower demon and the other demon. They could not even find out which direction the two of them had escaped to. Captain, we were so close to capturing that flower demon. Sigh. It's fine. We just need to work harder, and we'll definitely be able to catch them. Everyone, disperse. There's nothing to see here. After Mingluan finished his investigation, the surrounding crowd was also furious. They originally thought that they could come over and capture that demon and receive some reward, but who knew that they would fail? I don't think your eyes are working well. You said it so confidently, but there's nothing here. What do you mean by that? You saw it with your own eyes just now. The two of us saw it together. How can you say that about me? I told you there was nothing there, but you didn't believe me. You might have remembered wrongly. I didn't see anything just now. Everyone left noisily. On the other side, A light flashed beside Li Yuanqing, and he appeared in the small courtyard again. He played with the small seed. This was the seed left behind after the peony flower demon died. Master, what do you plan to do? Li Yuanqing thought for a moment and replied, There's still an empty space in the flower bed outside the city lord manor. Let's plant this seed there. But if it still retains its former rude and unreasonable nature after it grows, won't it be a huge threat to us? Hujuju looked at Li Yuanqing worriedly. It doesn't matter. Even if it grows out, it's only a low-level demon. It won't be able to cause any trouble. I think this flower is quite beautiful. It can be considered scenery. This morning, Mingluan stood by the flower bed and announced the notice that Hujuju had just sent. Mingluan had confirmed this with Hujuju several times just now, but Hujuju was certain. However, how did the peony die? Hujuju did not explain the details to him. She only asked him to take out this notice and announce it to everyone. The criminal, the peony flower demon, has already been punished. Peace in Ping City was not easy to come by. If anyone dares to destroy the peace in Ping City, they will be killed. What? The peony flower demon is already dead? How is that possible? Didn't someone else see it yesterday? That's right. And there's not even a corpse now. How can anyone believe that it's gone just like that? Everyone was arguing at once. Mingluan turned to look at the flower bed beside him. That place was originally an empty space. For some reason, an extremely beautiful peony flower had grown there. He did not know who planted this peony, but he couldn't care less now. Since the city lord said that the peony demon had been executed, it must be true. Since the city lord said that the peony flower demon has already been executed, there will definitely be no more peony flower demon coming out to cause trouble. A strange feeling arose in Mingluan's heart. Although he did not know if it was related, someone had seen the peony flower demon that day. Then, the peony flower demon never appeared again. It was hard to say if this had anything to do with the city lord. In Ping City, there were many demons like the peony flower demon who flowed everywhere and absorbed human essence. There were even many humans who did this kind of thing. They cultivated some evil cultivation techniques, were bewitched by the demons, or cooperated with the demons to do these things. Hujuju originally had no intention of taking the initiative to attack these existences. However, ever since this incident, Hujuju had begun to attack these demons in large numbers. In the past, they did not know where most of them were hiding, so it was a little troublesome. However, they did not know what method Hujuju had used to easily find the hiding place of these demons. Mingluan was only in charge of bringing his brothers up to take action. For a moment, everyone in Ping City was in a panic. After many of the demons were captured, the remaining demons who had not done anything trembled in fear. Before Hujuju sent anyone, she would not have informed the demons in the city. Therefore, they had many guesses. Big brother, I think we should leave. I heard that we can still seek refuge on Black Tiger Mountain. We can't stay like this anymore. The pair of demon brothers carefully hid in the room. No matter what they said now, they were afraid that others would hear them. It was as if Hujuju had 10,000 pairs of ears. No matter what others did, she knew everything. They could not calm down when they saw this scene today. The two brothers of the Darkwood clan were hung on the city wall just like that. They were already in their original forms. Two thick and black woods were there. The eldest gritted his teeth and said, "This is clearly the revenge of the human race. Their human race is clearly taking advantage of this opportunity to take our lives. Big brother, stop talking. We can't speak like this now." The younger brother hurriedly covered his brother's mouth and looked around warily, afraid that their words would be overheard again. After thinking about it, the eldest closed his eyes helplessly. There's no choice. Although this is where we have lived for generations, I'm afraid we can't stay here anymore after such a thing happened. We can only leave. Big brother, the helpers we find in the future will take Ping City back sooner or later. Ping City will belong to the demons sooner or later. All right, don't say so much. Hurry up and go. Hujuju was too ruthless. The city walls are filled with the corpses of our demon brothers. Most of the demons in Ping City were like these two brothers. They were all in a panic now, not knowing what Hujuju wanted to do. Hujuju was too ruthless to the demons. Even as demons, they were all terrified, afraid that such a thing would happen to them one day. Therefore, the number of demons who came to Ping City decreased. Some of the demons that appeared some time ago were killed by Juju, and some left obediently. Many local demons also left together. Captain, there are fewer and fewer demons in the guards. If this continues, our status as guards will be gone. One of the lackeys complained to Ming Luan. Cut the crap. No matter what the situation is, as long as we serve the city lord well, nothing will happen. Do you understand what I mean? Boss, of course I understand what you mean. It's just that there are only 10 to 20% of the demons left in Ping City. If this continues, we brothers will be the only ones left. So what? As long as we can maintain the stability of Ping City, how many demons and humans have nothing to do with us? Juju was currently doing a reform of the city protection team, adding many human cultivators to their guard team. The team, which was originally filled with demons, are mixed with demons and humans now. Many old residents had objections, but because of Juju's powerful strength, they did not dare to say anything. East District. Mingluan suddenly received an order. He only rested here for a while before leading his brothers on their way again. They had discovered another suspicious person in the Eastern City District. In a quiet courtyard in the Eastern District, a thin, sallow man walked out of the basement and slowly closed the bookshelf, sealing the entrance. Good Lord, what a good deal. The man smiled very happily and looked up in the direction of the City Lord Manor. A greedy expression flashed across his eyes. So many people are all trash. All of them can't even deal with a little girl. However, these demons' price is quite high. With such a high price and such a graceful lady, this business is profitable no matter what. The man smiled proudly as he spoke. However, just as he was laughing happily, the sound of something falling to the ground suddenly came from the door of the small courtyard. He looked outside with a tense expression. Suddenly, his expression changed drastically. What? The man's already withered face turned even uglier. He hurriedly rushed out of the house. The small courtyard was already filled with guards. What are you doing? I'm a good citizen. I've abided by the rules and have not made any mistakes. I don't usually provoke the City Lord Manor either. Why did you surround my courtyard today? The man smiled, revealing 2 rows of very yellow teeth. He looked very disgusting. Mingluan said nothing. His helmeted face was very serious. Do you know your crime? That was all he said every time he went anywhere. He asked again and again. The man said, Sir, you have to be clear about this. I didn't do anything wrong. I follow all the rules well. I definitely didn't make any mistakes. Although he said that, his feet were not idle at all. He sneaked towards a less crowded place and looked at Mingluan as he walked. Do you know your crime? Mingluan asked again. This was also their rule. If they could still repent the second time, they could give him a quick death. The man saw that the other party was asking aggressively. He had clearly been convicted. Although he did not know where he had leaked the news, in this situation, there was probably only one option left. Sir, what are you talking about? I'm such an honest person. How can you accuse me? Looks like you won't confess. Do it. Following Mingluan's order, all the guards raised their weapons in unison. A huge amount of energy instantly enveloped the small courtyard. Under Juju's careful management, countless troublemakers in Ping City were eliminated. These people were lying in wait for an opportunity to assassinate Juju. However, it was obvious that they had underestimated the danger of lurking in Ping City. There would be guards knocking on your door at any moment. After eliminating these external threats, Ping City temporarily maintained a certain degree of stability. In the wilderness, many demon tribes had suffered heavy losses. Among them was the Li Yuanqing, Li Yuan. One had to know that Li Yuan had also seen through the situation this time. After seeing the attacks of many demons, he could not help but attack very heavily. He had sent half of his elites and sent their second strongest expert. He also invited a lone wolf from outside to organize a luxurious assassination team. It would be a huge loss if he could not get any benefits after he organized such a luxurious assassination team. Li Yuan was filled with confidence. He thought that even if he could not succeed, as long as his people were still alive, he would at most lose some spirit stones. Such a loss was still acceptable. However, he did not expect Juju to be so ruthless. There was no news from the team he had sent out. The only news was that their assassination team was on the latest death list announced by the City Lord Manor. This blow could be said to have severely injured Xie Yuan. Although there were more than one family who had suffered heavy losses like him, he couldn't care less now. Anyone would feel pain if such a thing happened to them. Your Majesty, please spare us. We didn't know that there was such a ferocious person hiding behind Juju. If we had known earlier, we definitely wouldn't have come here to offer advice. The two brothers of the Eagle clan were filled with regret. Back then, they only thought that if they could find an opportunity, they would be able to find help and go back to take revenge. However, they did not expect to end up like this. They were about to lose their lives. Xie Yuan would not listen to their words anymore. These words had caused him to suffer heavy losses and lose more than half of his strength. If not for these kids, this would not have happened. Your Majesty, if not for them, the second in charge would be alive. We should skin these two alive. Don't let them live anymore. That's right, Your Majesty. I suspect that Juju specially sent these two brats to bewitch people. If not, they are full of lies. Then you wouldn't have been tricked, Your Majesty. The lackeys shouted one after another, begging to execute these two outsiders and eat their flesh and blood. This seemed to be the inevitable outcome for the two of them. The two of them could no longer take out any chips. I haven't mistreated the two of you during this period of time, right? I've been feeding you well every day, like you're my ancestors. Xie Yuan leaned in front of the two brothers. His human head inexplicably became bigger, and he vaguely looked like a lion. The two Eagle brothers were terrified and begged for mercy. Your Majesty, you really can't blame us. We brothers really don't know anything. We only told you what we know. Your Majesty, we brothers are still useful now. If you don't mind, we brothers are willing to be your servants in the future. Your Majesty, please spare us. We are still useful to you. Your Majesty, you can't kill us. Xie Yuan shook his head in fatigue. He was physically and mentally exhausted after losing so many brothers. I don't think the two of you can take anything out. In that case, make some final contributions to my small mountain. Your Majesty, spare me. Your Majesty, we brothers are really still useful. Xie Yuan stood up and slowly placed his hands on the heads of the two brothers. Your Majesty. Two huge amounts of energy overflowed from their bodies and gathered endlessly in Xie Yuan's hands. Their shouts slowly weakened until they were as soft as a mosquito's cry and were silent. Xie Yuan threw their withered bodies to the ground, and the lackeys behind him rushed forward. These demons could be said to have suffered heavy losses. In the beginning, they had never thought that Juju would actually have such rude and unreasonable methods. They thought that this city lord was already an arrow at the end of its flight. They thought that she was just a puppet of the Sword Immortal and could be bullied at will. However, although the Sword Immortal did not take action, the effect they achieved was not inferior to such a powerful deterrence. It also made them not dare to do these stupid things again. Many demon tribes had lost more than half of their strength, causing them to suffer a huge loss. They even closed their doors and did not dare to leave the mountain. In the wastelands, the influence of Ping City instantly soared. Many demons' expressions changed when they talked about Ping City. They seemed to have a deep fear of this place. Juju was naturally happy to see this happen. There were indeed many dangerous times some time ago. However, after the man-eating vine obtained so many benefits, her strength had increased greatly, and her control over the entire Ping City had improved greatly. They believed that if anyone dared to barge in the future, what awaited them would be an even more terrifying outcome. City Lord, it's the City Lord Hai's invitation. Mingluan carefully handed over a letter. There was still an envoy from Sea City waiting outside. What does Hai Chongping want to do? Juju looked at the documents on the table and felt a little tired. In the past, she was free when she was a demon king. Now, she had too many things to do. She was busy and tired every day. Although many things had already been assigned to her subordinates to deal with, these were enough to tire her out. Mingluan replied, according to the envoy, the City Lord of Sea City wants to invite you for a gathering to Sea City. Juju had just picked up the letter when she put it down in boredom. Then forget it. If Hai Chongping needs anything, tell him to come and find me himself. I won't go anywhere. The envoy said. Ming Luan hesitated. What did he say? He said that City Lord Hai is very kind and sincere this time. Moreover, it's mainly because Sea City has some news about the Heavenly Fox Clan and wants to invite you to discuss it. News about the Heavenly Fox Clan? Juju picked up his letter again. She might not care much about other things, but this matter was very difficult to ignore. City Lord, are you going? Ming Luan carefully looked up at Juju. What do you think? Ming Luan replied honestly, in my opinion, although Ping City has stabilized, the outside world is still in turmoil. If the City Lord rashly goes in, I'm afraid it will be very dangerous. I won't be in any danger. It's impossible for Hai Chongping to do anything to me. Juju pondered silently. The conditions this time were too tempting. She might regret not going. However, if she went like this, it might be an ambush. Could she bear the consequences of such an ambush? Juju held her forehead and waved her hand casually. Forget it. I'm a little tired. You can leave first. Let me think about it. City Lord, rest well. Don't tire yourself out. All right, your brothers from the city protection team should pay more attention too. Outside the City Lord Manor, many humans had gathered here. They had received the news from somewhere and were blocking the entrance, calling for the people from the City Lord Manor to hand over the envoy from Sea City. Call out this envoy who wants to harm the City Lord. Hai Chongping has never done anything good. This time, he even wants to use this opportunity to trick the City Lord. That's right. They definitely don't have good intentions. City Lord, you can't fall into their trap. We must guard here and not let the City Lord leave the City Lord Manor. We definitely can't go to Sea City. Many people were shouting outside. In the City Lord Manor, Juju looked at Yi Chilua in front of her and was a little puzzled. Juju thought that this was a small matter. She did not care about the news of the Heavenly Fox Clan. It did not matter if she wanted it or not. Therefore, she did not intend to go at first. She just did not know that this matter had alarmed Yi Chilua, and she even made a trip personally. Pavilion Master Yi is so free. It seems that Pavilion Master Yi is really concerned about my safety. Juju looked at Yi Chilua teasingly. Yi Chilua looked at Juju indifferently. City Lord, I'm here to tell you a piece of news. It's up to you to believe it or not, but I'm still a very reliable source. What news? About the envoy of Sea City. Juju nodded. So, Pavilion Master Yi is also here to persuade me not to go? Yi Chilua said very calmly. Wherever the City Lord wants to go is your own freedom. I'm just a businessman, so it's none of my business. However, I feel that I have some news that I have to tell the City Lord. Then let's hear it. I heard that Hai Chongping invited you over this time because he wants to seize control of Ping City while you're not around. Many of the demons in the outer city have already joined forces. There are also many demons from other cities. They are already prepared outside. As long as you arrive at Sea City, Ping City will be taken down by them by force. Juju was stunned when she heard Yi Chilua's words. She did not expect Hai Chongping to go through so much trouble to invite her over. He even said that there was news of the Heavenly Fox Clan because of this. To be honest, Juju found this idea ridiculous. She was just a city lord on the surface. In fact, as long as Li Yuanqing was here, it was impossible for them to take down Ping City even if everyone joined forces. Of course, only she knew about this. Others were still thinking about the ethereal sword immortal. After Yi Chilua finished speaking, she nodded at Juju. City Lord, that's all I want to say. As for how to judge, you can decide for yourself. I'll increase the number of patrols outside the City Lord Manor during this period of time. Thank you, Pavilion Master Yi. There's no need to thank me. Take this as a reward from us humans. Yi Chilua nodded slightly and bade farewell. That's all I have to say. I hope the City Lord can make a good judgment. I'll take my leave first. Pavilion Master Yi, take care. After Juju sent Yi Chilua off, she personally went to the high wall of the City Lord Manor and looked at the citizens gathered below. They were all shouting to prevent Juju from leaving Ping City. The City Lord is there. Everyone, look. The City Lord is there. Everyone looked over. City Lord, you must not leave Ping City. This is all their scheme. That's right. As long as you stay here, we will support you. We will guard Ping City together and not be snatched away by them. Guard Ping City together. Hu Juju was a little moved by these people's passionate words. She did not expect that she would be able to obtain so much support from everyone after what she had done recently. Behind Hu Juju, a graceful figure appeared out of thin air. Sister, it seems like everyone likes you very much. The man-eating vine covered her mouth and giggled. Hu Juju waved at the people below and slowly retreated. Ping City has its current stability. Everyone cherishes it and doesn't want such a life to be destroyed. The sisters strolled down the stairs of the city wall. The man-eating vine pouted and complained, "These people are really stupid. I usually help them, keep an eye on them every day. There's people out there who harmed them and did so many things, but they don't know anything. You're so petty." Hu Juju pinched her nose and said dotingly, "When you grow up a little more, I'll let you be the city lord." "I'm tired of being the city lord. I don't want it." Speaking of being the city lord, the man-eating vine hurriedly refused. "It's better to keep such a good thing. Sister, you can do it yourself." "Little man, didn't you complain a lot just now? Why aren't you saying anything now?" "What? I was just saying." "Oh right, I'm here to tell you. Master just said that he wants you to go back. He has something to tell you." "Is it about this?" "I don't know either. Master casually instructed me just now." Hu Juju did not dare to be negligent. She left the city lord manor and arrived at Li Yuanqing's small courtyard. Although Hu Juju had prepared a lot of places for Li Yuanqing seemed to especially love this medium-sized courtyard and had been living here all this while.